Hello and welcome to this first module, first section of this entire data analytics using Power BI, and primarily definitely we are talking about business data analytics over here. In first module, we are going to talk about how to communicate the story using data insights. And inside this entire module, we have got different segments for you. The first segment that we are going to talk about right now is how to introduce data, how to actually explore the data, what are the various steps that we have in terms of data analytics. In this entire module, we will be talking about intro of data analytics. Then we will move on to something called descriptive and predictive and prescriptive analytics. So there I'll give you some examples as well. In the next module, we will talk about how to create data models and what are the advanced techniques that we have got with us. Then we will talk about the guided principles, how to conduct data analysis. And finally, we have something very, very interesting. So actually, if you see, we are focusing something like a ADAPT framework. And the last part is actually the trick part of it. So here you will see some Mundus Novus from me. So in every module, at the end of every module, you will see a Mundus Novus from my side, Rupam's Mundus Novus. So we start off with the first section, which is actually data. And we talk about the introduction of data analytics. Data, as we said, that it is available everywhere. You talk about your, let's say, currently also this place has got data. You talk about transportation, you talk about healthcare, you talk about manufacturing, you talk about retail, you talk about entertainment, you talk about lifestyle, fashion, anything and everything today is generating data. I say that, okay, it is just like air. You don't see air, but you know that it is there. That is how we all are living, right? So that is the same thing that is happening with data today. So it is there everywhere, and people who know how to trap this, people who know how to make sense out of this, people who know how to actually modulate this, people who know how to model this, people who know how to visualize this, and people who know how to format or formulate a story out of this is actually going to rule this entire industry of data analytics. We will talk about, when we go inside the data, when we go inside different segments of this. So what I'll do is I will show you some of the examples. So this is primarily a demo based session. So though, you can see me on screen as well, but this will be primarily a demo based session. So I will be talking about some various aspects of what data can do in our day-to-day world, day-to-day life, be it corporate, be it students, be it startups, entrepreneurs, be it healthcare professionals. Everybody today need the power of business data analytics. So having said that, in this particular module, we will talk about the statistical part as well, and we talk about the analytical part as well. And when I say that statistical and analytical, definitely we need to see how we can understand our audience first. So that's the primary thing. First of all, I talk about something like design thinking. So when I say design thinking, so first of all, I need to empathize. First of all, I need to understand the landscape. Why are we doing this? For whom are we doing this data analytics? For whom we are building up these stories? That is very, very important. That's what I believe. So understanding the audience is the most important part. And then what we need to see is that, okay, for that audience, how do we actually present the data effectively or efficiently? So for example, if you just talk from the perspective of, let's say, entrepreneur, or if you talk from the perspective of a startup, then the presentation will be different, their KPIs are different, their analytical needs are different. So we need to first of all empathize that, okay, who are your audience, and then proceed further. Now the steps that are actually involved in this entire journey is talking from the perspective of how do we develop the strategies, and then till the time we move on to the concepts of finding the opportunities, identifying the opportunities, and then make sure that the strategies and the opportunities talk to each other, and then the story is built in such a way. So in our section, in this particular module, in this particular section, I'm going to talk about and I'm going to show you a glimpse of how data can be conceptualized. So here I have taken something very interesting for you. So let me show you the examples that I have got. So in this example, so in this particular section, I'm going to just give you an idea about some data. So this is, let's say, Uber data. So Uber data, actually, this is anyway available in GitHub or Kaggle. You can download this data, understand this data primarily. So in this data, if you just look at this data, it says that, okay, we have a request ID, we have pickup, the pickup location, then we have the driver ID, status, as well as the request for, getting into the cab, and the timestamp that we have for the drop. So just pick up and drop. Now something very interesting that we can do, I'm just giving you an idea that, okay, what all things you can do with this particular small data. Imagine just by looking at the data and looking at the day and the time of the data, actually we can find out, if I just may say that from this simple Uber data, we can find out whether this is a place where more and more corporates and officials stay, or whether it's a destination, or whether it's a kind of a holiday destination. Why? Because if you see, I'll just give you some examples. So if you see that more and more people are taking pickup from airport and drop into the city on a weekend, this means that this is a holiday destination. The other way around, if you see that the more and more pickups are from the city and actually they are going to the airport during the weekend or Fridays or nights or something like this, then you know that this is a place where it's full of office and residences, and people would like to move out of that city and go for a some vacation or some small staycations or something like this during the weekend. So this simple data, and when I say simple data, let me tell you, it has got more than 6,000 records, and just by looking at the 6,000 records, you can tell what kind of city is this. This is what the magician's work is. This is what data magicians do actually. And I'm going to teach you, I'm going to tell you how to weave these stories. Now if you look at this particular data, in some of the records you will see that it says no cars available. Believe me, with this simple data, I can actually understand that how many times the cars or the cabs were not available to the passengers. Is it during the daytime? Is it during the night time? Or off peak time, on peak time? So all this information is hidden and available in this particular data set. And it's a pattern that we have to understand. Some of you might say that, okay, this is a chaos, but I see a pattern in that. So this is what we thought we will just talk about in this introduction, in this particular section, where we talk about how to communicate with data, be it any data. As I said, be it data from any given location, be it, from any geography, any domain, data speaks. And how we can actually weave the story, that's the part of this entire program. We will take this journey further and then go to the next level in our subsequent modules. Thank you so much.